I spent 7 years lonely, no invites, ghosted, always locked up in my room until one trick completely changed everything in my life. So today, I'm gonna break down the exact steps I took from 14 to 21 years old to go from totally alone to actually getting invited, included, and even liked, whether it was friends or girls. First, we need to go back to when I was 14 years old. Look at the pattern. What was actually happening? I cannot tell you the amount of times I would have friends do something without me. And I was 14 when it started. No one hated me, no one bullied me, but no one really saw me either. You know, I would sit at lunch and pretend to be on my phone, scrolling the settings just so it would look like I didn't have anything to do. People would hang out and they would forget to invite me, and I would find out through somebody's story or not find out at all. But here was the problem. I was sending a signal to everybody else without me realizing it that literally said, don't talk to me. So how can you be more popular at school? Well, there's a study from Yale that explains this perfectly. It's called the liking gap. People underestimate how much our conversation partners actually like us. So every time I would walk away from a conversation and thought, man, they probably didn't like me, they were often thinking the exact opposite, but I've already shut down. And that was the pattern. The real issue wasn't how I looked or what I said. The real issue is that I never showed that I liked other people first. So they never got a reason to like me back. And everything changed in my life when I flipped that signal. And it all started when I did a behavioral shift that I now call the first liker framework. Now, let's fast forward to year 16, where I implement the trick, the first liker framework. Your teens are so hard because no one tells you what to do or how to be more popular. I would walk into a classroom and people would look right past me. And it wasn't that I was invisible. I just wasn't giving a reason to anybody in that room to care that I was even there. So that's when I started testing the signs of becoming more popular, which was me liking more people. I now call this the first liker framework, and it's in 3 parts. Part 1, you're gonna use my magic phrase that will make you more popular. There is one magical phrase that increases likability instantly. Popular people, they're not just louder, they're just quicker to signal to other people that they like them. So what I did is I started saying people's names in the hallway. Like, yo, what's up, Marcus? Or, yo, Liv, how was English class? Nothing deep, very casual and light. Now, at first, I'm gonna be honest, it felt fake. Then I noticed something weird happened. People started saying my name back. And as soon as someone says your name, you no longer just feel like background noise or like you go unnoticed in your school hallways, which immediately took me to part number 2, the open palm trick. The moment someone sees you, I need you to do this open palm trick. There is actually a study on TED Talk speakers. The most watched speakers, they used an average of 456 hand gestures in just 18 minutes. The least watched just used 271 hand gestures. That's nearly double the energy. So I started doing it. When I waved, when I greeted somebody, even when I would say, yo, I would flash my palms in my hands instead of just keeping them in my pocket. Which takes me to part 3. You need to give the energy you wish you had. This is the best way to make friends. You need to stop mirroring other people's coldness. Instead, I would give them the energy I wish I had. If someone was all stiff, I would loosen up. If they were awkward and tight, I would open up. At first, it feels one-sided. Then, people slowly start mirroring you. That's when it hit me. I didn't need to be chosen. I needed to choose them first. But I'm gonna be honest with you, just learning these tricks, it doesn't solve the hardest part. I would still overthink everything. I would replay convos in my head. I would second guess every interaction and wonder if people still liked me. Then, I'm gonna tell you to use a service like our sponsor, BetterHelp. It gave me the mindset tools I needed to actually live this stuff without letting my mind spiral. If you ever feel stuck in your head and in your own thoughts, this is one of the strongest plays you can ever do. Talk to an experienced professional that can help you kind of work through those thoughts. Now let's go to year 17. This is when I created the friend group entry formula. This is how to actually snake your way into any friend group. Now, this is some dark psychology stuff, but at this age, I was starting to like more and more people, and I needed a way to break into new friend groups, which is why I came up with the friend group entry formula. The trick is you need to stop trying to win the entire group. You just need to win over the gatekeeper. In every group, there's always gonna be one person you kind of know of, maybe not well, but well enough to just say what's up. That's your entry point. And here's how you're gonna do it. First, give them value, help them with something, gas them up in public or in front of a girl, make them feel good. Next, let that favor sit in. Then ask for a simple invite like, yo, are you going to that thing on Friday? Keep it very casual. Next, do get invited and you're at the group hang, you do zero talking about yourself. Instead, ask questions, bring some drinks, bring people if you're allowed. You become the glue. And finally, you wait. You be patient, because when you see these 3 signs, you'll know you're now in the group. 1, they start asking you to come. 2, you start getting tagged in group stories. 3, when you show up, people say, yo, you made it. At which point, you make the final move. You host. Once you plan something and they actually show up, you've gone from an outsider to a core member of that group. Now, this takes me when I'm 18 years old. This is when I start developing one-liners that make people like me back. See, there's 3 sentences that make people instantly obsessed with you, and almost no one uses them. See, by 18, I was no longer the nerdy kid. I was starting to come into my own confidence, and now I wanted people, especially girls, to like me back. This is when I faced my next hurdle. I would start overthinking what to say in the next text, or I would freeze up when it was time to be warm with someone. So I had to fix it, had to systemize it. I wanted plug and play sentences I could use whenever. So I'm gonna give them to you. These are my 3 likability sentences. You can literally use whenever. They're plug and play. Sentence 1, yo, I was just thinking of you. It works because no one sends this unless you mean it. And it signals that someone lives in your mental real estate. For example, you could say things like, I was just thinking of you. How'd that interview go? Or, I was just thinking of you. Remember that sushi place we talked about? Sentence number 2, you always make me laugh. Most people will say, oh, you're so funny. But my sentence hits harder because it turns their effect into a direct compliment. Sentence number 3, you lit up when you talked about that. I love seeing it. This one's rare, but it shows that you notice their passion and they love you for that. I'm telling you, bro, I was getting better at saying the right things, but I still felt a little bit wrong inside. Confidence isn't just about what you say, it's about how safe you feel inside when you're around other people. Therapy helps you unlock that. BetterHelp allowed me to do that from home with someone who understood it. And what I love about BetterHelp is that they have thousands of therapists. So if one therapist doesn't vibe with you, you can easily swap for someone until you find somebody that matches your personality. You don't have to fake a connection. You can build a real connection. I'm telling you, if you don't have anybody to talk to and you want somebody authentic to talk to, I would go to betterhelp.com/mensfashion. So there'll be a link down below and get 10% off your first month and join almost 6 million people that have used BetterHelp for therapy globally. Look, by the age of 18, I learned how to walk into rooms without disappearing, how to get into any friend group, or how to say that perfect line to get people to like me back. But somehow, I still felt alone for the next 3 years. And it wasn't until I moved into year 19 when she never texted me goodnight again.
I know, bro. So at first I'm thinking, no big deal, good night. So I thought it was me. Is she angry? Bro, did I do something wrong, bro? And you triple texted? It's over. It's over, right?
You know the crazy thing is that the guy she likes is reading all this?
I know, bro.
I'm making fun of it.
Sure, everyone's laughing, but under the jokes, a truth hit. Sure, she broke my heart, but it's not so bad because that's what I was missing. A tribe. Year number 20. I no longer needed anyone. See, here's things you can do when you feel lonely. Number 1, take yourself on a date. Because one of the lowest moments in my 7 years of loneliness, I just remember sitting in my room waiting at least to get one Tinder match so I could go on a date. That night, bro, I literally said screw it. I grabbed some drive-through, parked facing the sunset, and I had dinner by myself in my front seat of the car. I'm gonna be honest, and you know what? It felt peaceful. This was the start of my solo date ritual. Not because you stopped needing or wanting people, but instead you stopped needing permission to just live. When you start dating yourself, here's what happens. You stop giving off that please include me energy, and you just start giving off, yo, I'm good either way energy. And people, they start feeling the difference. So here's 4 ideas I want you to try this week. I want you to grab coffee, go on a walk, no phone. I want you to go on a lunch by yourself and journal. I want you to sunset drive while you listen to your favorite album. And 4, I want you to go to a museum and spend some quiet time. Because the loneliest thing is not being alone. It's being locked up in your room for years and not experiencing life. And some of the most powerful work you'll ever do, it's not gonna be in a classroom, it's not gonna be in a gym or in a group. It'll be by yourself, especially if you're in therapy. BetterHelp, it makes it simple with no weird scheduling, no pressure to explain everything perfectly and polished. Just someone that you could talk to and helps you feel less alone. If you guys want somebody solid to talk to, go to BetterHelp. Click the link down below. Now, I'm 21 years old. I'm no longer lonely, and that's the problem. See, these are the types of friends and groups you need to watch out for. You're no longer lonely. You've fixed your energy. You've made the entrance. You found new people and groups to hang out with. Now, it's time for you to figure out who your real friends are. So every group will have these 5 characters. You have the ghost. This is a C-tier friend. He'll disappear for weeks, but then show up like nothing happened. You have the anchor friend. A tier. He's always down, he's always steady. Bro, this dude even remembers your dog's name. Then you have the hater friend. I'm gonna put this guy in S tier. This is the dude that roasts everyone constantly and starts chaos just for the fun of it. Then you have the mirror friend. I'll put this guy in A tier. He matches your vibe perfectly. He's hyped when you're hyped, he's chill when you're chill. And then you have you. S tier. You're the new one, the one who knows what it's like to eat alone, wait for that invite or feel like nobody sees you. But after this video, not anymore, because you bring the energy. You start the conversation. You walk into rooms and you change the temperature. You see, I spent 7 years lonely, so you didn't have to.